The vast majority of Americans came here as immigrants, and many in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Even Kaya comes from a family of immigrants. Her ancestors came over with Russian refugees during World War II. As we discuss immigration and urbanization, think about the history of your own family. Information on immigration and the urban experience can be found in Chapter 10 of your Orange Book, Sections 1 and 2. Our objective for this presentation will be Goal 5.01, evaluate the influence of immigration and rapid industrialization on urban life. Our essential question is, how did immigration and industrialization impact urban life at the turn of the century? We had seen up until the 1890s immigrants coming over almost exclusively from Western Europe. This is referred to as old immigration. In the late 1800s, 1890 or so, we see a flood of immigrants from not just Western Europe, that is England, France, and Spain, but also Eastern Europe and Central Europe, in addition to Asia and Latin America. Coming over to start a new life in America was not easy. The journey by boat was very difficult, usually took 2 to 3 weeks. And most immigrants came in either through Ellis Island in New York City or Angel Island in San Francisco, California. At Ellis Island, they processed many immigrants, mostly Europeans. At Angel Island, they processed mostly Asians. And the differences between Ellis Island and Angel Island were quite remarkable. Ellis Island was very administrative and procedural. Angel Island really put immigrants through the ringer and had very harsh conditions for Asians coming into this country. As I said, new life for immigrants was not easy. They often experienced culture shock in the new way of life. They were exposed to cultures that were very different from their own. And in order to make themselves more comfortable, they often set up ethnic communities that were relatively exclusive. And examples of this could be Chinatown in New York City and many other cities. Also, Little Italy is another example. They discovered that the United States is a melting pot. And when we say melting pot, we're talking about the blending of cultures, people from many different cultures living and working here. We've also already talked some about nativism, and this is the feeling of some people who live in this country already who resent immigrants. They don't like immigrants coming into this country. An example of nativism was manifested in the Chinese Exclusion Act, which banned most Chinese from immigrating to the United States. In the next video, we'll talk about what immigrants faced when they got to Ellis Island.